What's the word on Dale Morris?
Suspected ACL injury, and beyond that, obviously we'll just need to take some time to confirm it, or it'd be great for it to come up otherwise. But and then we'll communicate through what the status is.
How's he feeling?
He's amazing. I mean, I patted him on the back at three-quarter time, and he had this big smile on his face. It just shows the attitude, the character of Dale Morris. I mean, we're really fortunate to have had him in our ranks for so long, and he's obviously been an enormously influential player at our football club, for such a long period of time. Great example setter, like a father figure, big brother, and so for him to even be in that frame of mind and still be vocal, supporting his teammates after he went down with the injury, then it just, as I said, it speaks volumes for his integrity and who he is.
It came off in the first quarter. Were there concerns there?
Yeah, there were concerns. It seemed to be, it was a lateral sort of an issue, a bit of a clicking thing that he hadn't had before. They felt he may have had some kind of a little bit of a nick there, but he felt fine. He was able to move off the line, and when you think he'd played 4 games at state league level coming into this game, and then he went on and he was important at the end of that first quarter as a forward just to help manufacture some of those scoring shots. So he's getting through, and then he goes down. So we couldn't see it coming.
What are your thoughts in the coaching box when it happened in the third quarter?
Usually you just got to carry on. You just can't be emotional about it at the time. You can't drift. Your thought processes have to stay in the game, obviously. So it's just only now, in the aftermath, where you reflect and just really hope that he's going to, that it's all right. But the odds of that seem pretty slim.
Is there a sense that there was always some sort of risk this could happen, given the nature of the course was undertaken?
Well, yeah, when you consider with the other knee, that's fine. Yeah. So he exactly the same recovery, rehabilitation, turnaround, and hasn't missed a beat. And then this one, I said to him, actually in the press conference, I said publicly that I feel like he's come back even stronger this time. He's played better footy at state league level after this one. So there's always a risk. He didn't have the uniform ACL repair, and if he's done it, then I'd say that he may do that.
When do you expect to find out?
I'd say definitely within the next 24 hours, I would have thought.
He'd started quite well, hadn't he, with the game today as well?
Yeah, he did.
Took a couple of nice marks across half-back.
Yeah, he did. And that's the sad thing about it. He still, I mean, you look at his appearance and you see the way he moves, and you've got all that stored experience and what he can contribute on field for his teammates, for his club, and so yeah, it's real bad luck when you think that he's done either side this late in his career.
Happy with the performance off the back of last week?
Yeah, well, it was really one bad quarter last week. It was the first quarter where our skill level was deplorable, and we opened ourselves up. We gave an intense and hard-working St Kilda side a look, and it was a journey too far to peg it back for 3 quarters, unfortunately. So the following 3 quarters weren't too bad, but today, yeah, it's we move on, we carry on, we're heading in the right direction, but it's a solid outing for us. It was a shame we kicked so many points in that second half. It would have been nice to really capitalise on what we were doing, but you can't be unhappy with that.
Was that first quarter some of the best footy you've played for a couple of years? Yeah,
we were pretty slick. At times I felt like sometimes you can overhandball, and sometimes your decision making and putting yourselves back into traffic, which I thought we did a few times, may be off a little bit, but most of the things we did in using each other in transition, creating opportunities out of turnover, were as close to what you'd be after as we get. I mean, obviously Bailey Dale makes a big difference converting those set shots and giving us that opportunity. So there was, which is probably first and second quarter, wasn't it? So but it was encouraging stuff. And Norts as well. When you consider Norts, we probably played him up a little bit higher today, and he was just unstoppable in the air and what he created for us. And he may not have been as close to goal as we needed, but we found him in different ways.
Just on Bailey, how impressed have you been with his past 2 weeks? 5 goals last week, 4 goals in the first half tonight.
Yeah, we've been impressed. He's always been capable. He's got good feet, Bales, and as you know, he's had a fairly long injury layoff with that foot injury, and so even when he's come back, he's been trying to find his best. And sometimes, obviously with feet in, or when you have a foot injury, obviously because you can't run for a period of time, it can take you a while to really establish that match fitness again. And he was just an important figure in our mix tonight.
Did you feel like
this afternoon?
Sorry, did you feel like you had the opportunity to get them on the spread because they'd gone tall?
Well, they're tall. I mean, there's only ever one sort of up around the source, so and yes, that possibility is there for Tim, and I love Tim's game. And we had to, with Dale being off, we asked him to play the whole last quarter in the ruck, and so there's enormous growth in his year, what he's been able to contribute, and that possibility was there. And I felt like he really defended and helped us in our back end at times, and it was probably just a bit more challenging for him to affect the game drifting forward with one or two of their bigger guys. So the possibility was there. And then as the game wears on, then maybe out of your back end with some of your run. But it doesn't happen if you don't win the ball back. So at times I felt like our defenders were as creative and as influential as they have been all year.
And your ability to turn what was a fairly significant hit-out dominance into your own clearance edge, particularly with Bontempelli and McRae in there, that was almost the significant factor, wasn't it, in the second quarter?
Yeah, and hats off to those lads, and they've been pretty solid all year, and they're probably the ones that go under the radar. I mean, Dunk's probably, wasn't at his usual standard today, but he was really important in that. But Libba, you probably didn't pick it up, but Libba had a role, and he kept Walters really quiet, and the other lads helped him, but it sort of slips through the cracks a little bit that he helps the others do what they do. But when you consider the power of Mundy and Fife, it was important that our bigger-bodied mids had a good day. We rely on them to really push us forward in that engine room, and they were tremendous.
Obviously, a lot of the talk now switches to whether you can qualify for finals, but how much are you just looking forward to in general this tough 4-week block coming up, just to test yourselves and see where you're at?
Yeah, looking forward to it is a notion that you grab hold of. I think we played Brisbane this week, who obviously we beat in Ballarat last time on a reasonably windy day, where the numbers in the game are very different to what they normally are, and I thought our players really were quite outstanding. Strategically, it was an unbelievable win for us. So they've really kicked on since. Playing them up there is going to be a different story, or it'll be a totally different game. Yeah, but beyond that, there's challenge after challenge, isn't there? And ball's in our court. That's the exciting thing. But as usual, we won't look any further than going to Brisbane this week.
Just Riley West's debut too. How did you assess that? And nice little moment there in the second quarter when he kicked his first goal.
Yeah, he had some really exciting moments, Riley, and used his left foot pretty well. People might have thought he's a left footer there for a minute. Memories of Dad, on his left of Scotty. But yeah, as you would have seen, he competes in the air. He's very hard-nosed Westie, and for his first game, in a pretty, there's a fair bit of turnover in it. Yeah, I think he did well to last, and he had his impact. So it's really terrific for us, great for him. Obviously, a special afternoon for the family.
Last one to pass things, Zane Cordy up forward. Is that something we can expect to see much going forward?
Yeah, it was out of necessity, really. We felt like we needed another tall down there with Shaq unavailable, and with Moz coming back in the team, it allowed us to do that. No, it's not something that we're wedded to, but we'll have to weigh up whether or not we can, play with the. We've got some lads who compete well in the air who can go forward. Bailey Dale's one of them, who we mentioned earlier. But yeah, that selection this week with Moz going out of the side will be a challenging one for us to get that right. All good. Thank you.